Hey, this is the Irredeemables podcast, previously known as Redemption Podcast. However, there's already a Redemption Podcast, so we're changing our name because we want to be somewhat original. Or, holy shit, original. I'm currently drunk as fuck. Luna's currently drunk as fuck, and it's only us two. So we're gonna have drunk talk. Isn't that right, Luna?
I can't believe you'd assume that I'm fucking drunk
Yeah, alright.
by the fact that I've had about 8 drinks.
Yeah, okay. So with that in mind, what we're going to talk about today is human nature. Or at least that's what we're starting with. Who the fuck knows where this shit'll go?
Oh, it's going right down the shitter. I'll tell you that right now.
Alright, so I'm gonna let Luna answer this first question. Uh, this is a very philosophical question, which you enjoy philosophy, right?
I mean, I'll put it this way: uh, after about a half a bottle of liquor, I'm a philosophy major.
Well, I'm actually gonna get a philosophy minor in college, but what we're talking about is human nature and what does it mean to be human. I haven't talked about this in philosophy classes, so I don't know if there's like some fucking, big brain fucking theory saying like, what was it? Uh, what's the dude who fucking sat in a barrel in Greece or Athens?
It's Descartes. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, well,
He's
uh,
French, I think.
no, he's,
Descartes.
yeah, it's something like that. Well, anyway,
What are you talking
he said that somebody said a human is a featherless biped, right? And then what's his face, fucking plucked a chicken and said, "Behold, a featherless biped, a human." Which obviously it's not right, but I'm thinking we're talking more about like mentally, what does it mean to be human? It's like when we claim people are inhuman, they massacre multiple people and just don't give a flying fuck, sociopathic, right? Are sociopaths actually human or are they inhuman?
about? I mean, biologically, they're human. Uh, uh,
I mean,
mentally, I mean, this dives deep right here. Like, what is human nature if not? I mean, where we are now is we've dominated nature. We've killed and
well, yeah.
destroyed every our ecosystems and each other until to the point where we are now. So essentially, they are uh, by essence human
I mean,
because no animal just kills for the fun of it. I mean, wolves will, but
uh,
that's just for practice.
what do you mean mammals? Mammals are killed for just the fun of it. Most
Oh,
mammals will.
what what that? Well, can you give me instances? Like, can you?
Um, so let's do it the hmm like a cat,
Because a
right?
cat, yeah, okay, yeah, but I
So
mean that's more
so
for sport than anything.
yeah. Well,
But I
is
mean,
it for sport being for fun?
not necessarily.
What do you mean not necessarily?
You talk. All right,
So
take for
you
instance.
feed a cat like as much food as it ever wants. It goes outside and it murders like fucking 8 birds and brings it inside.
Oh, that's its programming. A cat is designed to kill. I mean, no matter if it's a house cat or a big cat you find in the wild,
Yeah,
it's a
well, I mean, but
it's a creature designed to kill.
that's still killing for sport, which means it's killing for fun.
See that, I, that
It's
this
satisfying
is
its dopamine.
this is where I disagree with you. Sport and fun are two different things. Um, let's be real here. I don't know if you've ever tried cat food or not, but it's not that appetizing.
mm, well, cats find it appetizing.
I disagree since they're killing birds and eating them.
You could feed them fucking steaks and they'd still fucking kill birds.
Maybe, maybe not. I'm
Maybe,
not a
no,
cat.
I'm
I don't know.
almost positive of it.
But the point I'm
It's
trying to
because
make
they
here,
enjoy the hunt.
the point I'm trying to make here is a hunter doesn't hunt for the kill. They hunt for the experience of hunting.
Some people hunt for fucking food. Let's say you live
That's
in
what I mean. For
Alaska,
food,
like
for
let's
food, yeah, but for food, not for the kill. I mean,
you literally just said the opposite.
I'm confused.
He literally just said humans hunt for the thrill of the hunt, not for food. However, people in
Oh,
like
I meant for the
Alaska,
kill.
yeah,
I meant for the kill here. People who hunt do not hunt for the kill. They hunt for the food.
well, so how about this? How about all the redneck fucking yees that
Oh
live
yeah,
around
I
us that
I know
hunt,
quite a
even
few
though they can
people
go to
that.
McDonald's, and get fucking food for $1. Instead, they'll spend multiple dollars on fucking ammo to kill shit.
All right, let's restart this thing because this isn't a topic we can dive
Okay,
into.
well,
Because we're
all
just
right,
going to disagree on this one.
all right. So then, how about we go into the next one? Are humans better for creation or destruction?
uh, better for creation or destruction? Well, to argue this means that
Like,
creation isn't destruction.
mm, I see.
Creation
I
is
completely get.
creation is refining. Creation is refining in most sense of the word. But we'll take for instance something like plastics.
Yeah.
To create is to destroy.
What do you destroy?
You destroyed. I mean, look at our oceans, man. Look on
Well,
the side of
no.
the
Well,
road when you
that's.
go to school. I mean,
Well, so like, here's the
it's
thing.
everywhere, and
I
you
mean,
can't use it again
Eastern states are a lot different than like the Rockies. That was the one thing I noticed about the Rockies. There is no trash on the side of the roads, like none at all.
because they have programs to
No,
take
they
care of
don't.
that.
It's just people do not litter out there.
Oh, yeah, because they enjoy nature a lot more. I assume.
Yeah,
I
no,
don't
it's
know.
because everybody's always outside, always doing stuff, so they don't want to mess it up, which I think is wonderful. But you
It's
go
an
to like
amazing
fucking
thing.
Miami or something, right?
No one gives a
And
fuck.
and it's a fucking disgusting place. But
Yeah,
in general, I think humans are like, so the question was, are humans better at creation or destruction? I think we're better at
destruction.
destruction, 100%.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
we are much better at destroying shit. That's not even a question. However,
That's
we are trying to, we're striving to create more than we destroy, which is failing ultimately.
I mean, it just depends on what aspect of creation we're talking about here. If we're talking about creation of weapons, or we're talking about creation of,
Well,
well,
but
I'd
I
say
mean,
technology.
just because,
I mean,
so like, let's say we create a gun, right?
yeah, I mean
Well, the
that's
gun
destruction.
requires iron, gunpowder,
Yeah,
multiple machines, electricity.
and
So we have to
let
destroy a whole lot to create that.
and then what's the use of this gun is destruction as well.
Hmm. So I 100% agree that humans are a fucking plague. I mean, that's kind of what my father says, and I mean, I agree with him 100%. Humans are a goddamn plague on this earth. Like, I
I
mean,
mean, I
people.
drive 40 minutes to work every day, and I just every time I'm on that road, I just think like the scars that we put on this earth, just the asphalt alone
Yeah.
of our
So
roads.
I watched. I'm watching an anime. I know you don't really watch anime, but it's called Doctor Stone, and it's about this idea that everybody gets turned to stone, and then like uh, it's like 3,000 years in the future, some people start coming out of their stone exoskeleton and restarting, from like scratch, because by that point, uh, nature is taken back over. So what I'm thinking is like, even though humans are a plague, the world can still bounce back. I don't think it'll be that way for long at this point, because everything's greedy, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm saying it's just human nature.
Well, the world is greedy when you think about it. Like, and nature without humanity would bounce back quicker than we think it would. I mean, birds hunt use for plastic in their nests, and a lot of things like that. Other animals do as well.
Yeah. So with that a whole idea, I mean, but so do you think that we need to? I don't want to say go back to an Adam and Eve, but I mean, would it really be all that bad if humans became extinct or close to extinction? Like, let's say we had another Black Plague, I mean, sure, like both us will lose a lot of people. Hell, maybe we might die, you know? But it is what it is. It's all a numbers game, right? Everything in this life is a fucking numbers game. So, you go to work and you get paid based on how much, the company values your. Oh, fuck! Alright, you back?
Ah, I can hear you now.
Alright, well, we ain't gonna stop the recording.
All right, let's fucking
Yeah,
go.
let's continue.
Where-
So, where did I drop off on you?
I can't remember, man. I was talking about plastics and how and how nature has began to include it into its
Well,
cycles.
I wouldn't think that's including it. I think it's more of it's getting, I guess the best way to say it is like distracted by it.
I wouldn't even say that. I mean, like, come on, like, the birds use it in their nests.
Yeah, they use it in their nest, but they would normally use flowers.
Flowers and toys. But see, the thing that I feel like we separate here on is the intelligence of other animals. Just because they don't speak like we do doesn't mean they're not intelligent. A bird will figure out ways to twine leaves to protect their nests in trees. They'll enclose themselves by using something like that we would call sewing, by poking their beaks through leaves and twining pine
Well,
needles and such
well, so
into
you gotta.
it's really interesting when you think about how intelligent animals are compared
Well,
to us.
so you gotta think. So birds, they've been evolving for millions of years, right?
Yeah, just like us.
Not really. Humans only real. Real intellectual humans have only been around for a few thousand years, right? I'd say the
Well, no,
earliest, the
no,
earliest
more
human is
longer
ten.
than that.
The earliest human is 10,000 years.
Human, yeah, but I mean,
So
our
once a
ancestors before then have been around
yeah,
just
but
as long.
that's like orangutans and shit. Like yeah, orangutans are smart and all, but I mean, so you gotta
I mean,
think. So what was the world like 2,000 years ago? That was fucking biblical times. 2,000 years ago, it was fucking biblical.
it depends on where you are. If you're in Europe, things changed a lot. If you're in North America during this time, things weren't going to change till Europeans showed up.
Yeah, but I mean, that's still like the fact that humanity has gone from like dying at the age of like having to have like 10 children, and over half them dying, to now where if you lose a single child, it's actually quite rare. And you can
I mean, that's true. That's true.
and now you can like
Not that.
we literally have fucking handheld electronics like cell phones and whatnot that fucking tell us anything we want to know, because we've almost become a hive mind in the eyes of the grand scheme. It's like ants.
Yeah. Let me ask you this: is technology inherently a good thing?
Inherently, for humans, yes. For the world, no.
I'd have to disagree, because I feel like technology hinders us in quite a few ways. We've grown distracted for the most part from our surroundings, from each other, and we've put a lot of energy and attention to other things that don't matter as much, such as social media and movements that
Well, I mean, so you're like
we don't
talking.
agree
So you're
with.
talking to me right now, the guy who has a grand total of one social media account, where I have a grand total of 10 people I ever talk to on it. It might as well be a fucking cell phone. So I mean, the whole social media aspect. Honestly, I find social media fucking retarded. So I don't. That's why I don't indulge in it, because every time so I still have my Facebook, even though I haven't been on it in a minute. But every time I go on it, I get to see all the fucking retarded shit my fucking family says on it, and I honestly just think, wow, you really are, the epitome of fucking dumbassery. And I mean, it's not like my direct family or my indirect family. It's just people. they'll post so much dumb shit because they think, oh wow, I can just say whatever the hell I want on this. But in the end, every time I see that person again, I just instantly think, and I don't mean that person is in there's only one dumb person, but it's whenever I see a person who said some dumb shit on there, I look at them in a different light every time I see them because I think, wow, so this is what you really think, and this is how fucking retarded you are. And I don't want to point it out to them because then they'll get all butthurt, and I'll end up being the bad guy, right? So instead, I keep my mouth
Yeah,
shut
see,
and I just let them do their dumb shit.
here's my take on this. It's technology has. I had to go further back than technology. I feel somewhere in
Do you mean like
human evolution that we have lost something,
so?
our
So
connection
you
with
mean like
nature.
so I did in one of my philosophy classes. I did take a class on philosophical societies, and there was a Rousseau or Rousseau. He's fucking French, man. I can't fucking speak French, but
Rousseau?
yeah, Rousseau, and he talks about the noble savage, and he says that humanity was at its peak back when we were savages. When we didn't have any trading, we didn't have societies. We were nomadic, creatures that would just try to survive. Do you think that's how humanity should go back to? Do you think we should, or do you think we should go back to the noble savage?
Here's the thing. The phrasing bothers me. Savage.
I
Um,
mean, it. Well, savage,
what is a savage? What is a
Okay,
savage? Somebody who
so
wants. I'm
no,
going to rant.
savage is more like what I'm trying to say is it's the noble savage, but remember this is translated from French.
Yeah.
So
Let me
savage.
go. Let me go on a
Okay.
rant here. Just about this. What is a fucking savage? Is a savage somebody who wants to live their life peacefully and
Well,
live their own way, or is it somebody who comes across the ocean and destroys an entire population of people just so they can have some form of capitalism and and ownership of land and all this bullshit and dominate a people who just lived peacefully for millions of years
well, so
without putting any permanent
hmm,
structures on a fucking land. All right, this is you've hit a key here.
go on.
Native Americans lived the right way, in my opinion. They lived the way humans should live. They did not they had the full capability of technology and improvement, but they understood themselves in nature, something that Europeans did
Well,
not.
no, it was more of they had so their religion was different because religion
Yeah, because
since
all right,
so
no, they didn't have religion. That's the thing. They
what do
didn't
you
have
mean?
religion.
What do you mean they?
Religion,
What do you mean they
religion.
didn't have religion?
They didn't have religion
Yes,
in
they did.
they didn't have religion. Let me finish. They did not have religion in the sense that Europeans had
Well,
religion.
they didn't have
They had religion.
Christianity, which would say, "Oh yeah, we're gonna crusade against these fucking heathens." No, they didn't have that kind
See,
of religion. They had a religion as in nature is Mother Nature and that kind of shit. I
see,
honestly I can't speak much
here's
about
the
it
difference.
because I don't
I
know.
can because I've studied. There's Eastern and Western religion, and by Eastern and Western I mean European. Um,
You mean like European and Asian?
Eastern, yeah, yeah, sure. Um, Eastern religion was Catholicism.
Mm-hmm.
After the fall of Rome, the Catholic Church took over most of Europe, and it became its government because Rome pretty much controlled Europe. I mean, they had
Yeah.
after that government failed, there was no structure to support all these people, so the Catholic Church took over. In Eastern thought, something different happened, where it was a different sense. I haven't studied as much as Eastern as I understand Western, but in North America it was completely different because there was no structured religious thought. It was people. Let me put it this way: in Europe and Asia, and basically the the that side of the fucking ocean, uh, people killed each other for an idea of God. In North America, it was different. They did not fight to kill; they fought for dominance. people did not kill each other intentionally over here during this time. They would fight, and if they were tapped by a weapon, which was not metal, it was wood, they would surrender and give up their honor and fall back out of the battle.
Yeah, but okay, so
It was a different world, is what I'm
well,
trying to say. Is
what
when Europeans came across the ocean, they introduced savagery, they introduced murder and mutilation and all this shit that is white man's thought,
I mean, okay, so
for lack of a better term.
I can agree with that. However, so I mean,
We think of Apache as savage, right? Because they scalped people, they mutilated people, but they learned that from white men. They did not have that in them.
well,
They
so
were a warrior tribe, but they did not mutilate other people
well, so
until
here's the thing.
the white man came over.
All right, Luna, hold on. So here's the
Yeah,
thing.
go on.
Uh, so you're taking savagery as in the concept of brutality.
Yeah.
Is that correct? Yeah. So you're taking as
well, savagery is in brutality and dominance,
so
a lack of respect.
so here's the thing. So let's say you get into a fist fight with some shitbag, right? And you start wailing on them, and you're winning. You're on top of them. You're just wailing the shit out of them, right? When do you stop? You stop when they give up, right? And what if they don't give up? What do you do then?
See, this is the thing: is if you're on top of them, I mean, the fight's over, unless you're keyed to that point where you have to kill them. If you're on top of them and you're in a battle,
Well,
you're going to kill them. I mean, there's no doubt about it, because you have other targets to go to. But
well, I mean,
in this context,
so you don't think that the
I
Native
mean, people
Americans
died.
had
I'm
pride,
100%
right?
sure of that.
So what I'm gathering from what you said right there is the Native Americans didn't have pride, and they'll swallow their pride to save their skin, which I disagree
necessarily.
with. Which
it's a battle. It's a battle of honor.
I mean,
think about it this way: even in Eastern culture, and by that I mean Europe, it's there was a point where we didn't kill generals. I mean, in battle, it was they led the charge. They were higher ranking. We did not target them. It was a battle of dominance, and whoever came up top first was the winner, and the general would live and move on to the next battle. And then at some point that changed, where we didn't give a fuck about killing a man off their horse or killing the horse underneath the man. It turned into something different. And
well, I mean, killing horses to kill men happened all the way back in like ancient Greece.
yeah, but it wasn't. We lost honor at some point, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, I mean, so honor's relative. So here's the thing: the victors of war write the history books. We both agree with that, right?
The winners of war write history, yes.
So let's say that let's say it is you get into a gamble, right? And the gamble says, if I win, you owe me your entire life, right? You're gonna fight till the death for that. Am I wrong?
I mean, you're talking to me, man.
Well, what I'm saying is, the thing about war is it will escalate no matter what to a point where it's gonna have to be where you have to kill people.
If somebody yields, that's a different thing.
If somebody yields, so let's start with World War II. We nuked the fucking shit out of Japan. We told them to yield. They didn't yield. We dropped another one, and then they yielded.
Because they had a different form of honor. They had a different state of mind than we did.
Yeah, but do you think that Native Americans had a different state of mind?
I'll tell you what. If a nuke was dropped somewhere in America, would you take up arms, or would you say, "Oh
yes,
no, I
would
want
take
peace"?
up arms.
And if another nuke was dropped, would you take up arms?
Well, here's the thing: America's like what, a
I'm just
hundred
saying,
times the size of
just
Japan. We
just in the sense of this question,
so if
would
let's
you take
say
up arms if two
so
nukes were dropped on the U.S.?
so let's say half of the United States was nuked because I was about the size of how many people got nuked in Japan, right? If
Okay.
half the United States got nuked, I'd say it's done. We lost.
I mean, then what?
Then what?
Then what? Yeah,
Then
I mean, you're
then
just
we
going to let
let then
some
we let
foreign
them.
invader take over?
Yeah, I mean,
Why?
why?
Why? Why would you give up everything that you've known,
Because
everything you have, just for some foreign invader to come in and take your shit?
well, they didn't. So like when we went over to Japan, we didn't take their shit. We in fact instated a government which made them into an economic monster. Like nowadays,
Well, yeah.
Japan can do anything they goddamn please.
Well, yeah. They just got a military not 5 years ago.
Yeah, because they didn't need one because America told everybody if you fuck with them, we'll murder you.
And then what if Japan was control of America? Would that not bother you?
No. If it was the complete, if I lived in Japan, I'd be like, okay, that's pretty chill.
Yeah, I mean, you know my feelings toward the U.S. government, but
Well, I mean,
it,
so the U.S. government, I do agree
I look
they have too much
I
control.
look at it this way. I look at it this way, like globalism isn't a good thing in my opinion. Um, I feel a people should be ruled by the people,
Well,
not
yes.
by some foreign dictator.
Well, so I agree with that, but however, like when we established your government, we let them do their own thing after that. We didn't fuck with them after that. They're the ones who created all their technology. They're the ones who created all their companies. We
Under
didn't.
our control, under our allowance.
Mm, allowance is a bit extreme. It's more of it's like when you train a dog in a way.
Under our eye.
Yeah,
We'll
under
say
our
that.
eye. Yeah. So like as long as they don't come and fuck with anybody, then they can do whatever the hell they want. If they want to start executing their citizens, we don't give a shit. That
What's
ain't
another
our.
topic you have up your sleeve there, bud?
That's something that we should probably try to avoid.
I mean, hey, I mean, look, we're two different minds. We think differently, and
Yep.
we're too stubborn.
Exactly.
We're too stubborn in our ideas to really convey our ideas. Um, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, hell, I'm not going to die on any hill I stand on.
All right. So here's another question.
Native American shit. That shit hits. That shit hits pretty hard for me.
So here's another question. So we're gonna talk about happiness and satisfaction. All right. So here's the
Okay.
first question: is life unfair?
Is life unfair?
Just tell me yes or no, and I'll answer, and then you can explain your side, and I'll explain my side.
All right, sounds good. It definitely is unfair. I'll
Yes,
say
it
that.
is most definitely unfair. All right. Do you feel as if it's a bad thing or a good thing?
No one asked to be born, so I have to say it's hard to answer, man, because it depends on who you come from. You know.
So,
Uh,
so at least here's my opinion. In America, life is you start out unfair, but you can even the playing field easily.
I don't know about easily.
Well, okay. When I say easily, I mean you're spending like anywhere from 60 to 100 hours a week, doing your thing, right? You're improving yourself or you're, not improving yourself. So, I mean, all these successful people they say, work, work, work. Nobody can work hard on you, and then you'll do your best, right? And everybody just kind of says, yeah, 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 I know that, blah, blah, blah. But they don't quite understand the fact that that's how you get better. So, um, let's start with like school, for example, or work. So, let's say you're a workaholic or something. You work 80 hours a week. I mean, it's a lot of hours, but at the same time, you're going to be one of the best in your field because you have the experience to back it up. So, is it unfair that you should get paid more than somebody who has the exact same job as you but only spends 40 hours a week?
Well, if you put it in that context, I say the person that works more deserves more. But
Well, they should, their time should be worth more, right? For the company.
yeah, I mean they work harder.
Yeah,
I agree
exactly.
with that. I agree with that. But
But if you want to go all the way back to, like, let's say it's unfair because you were born in a shitty situation, right?
yeah, it's about opportunity.
So
If you're
everybody, I don't think opportunity is equal. I 100% agree with that. I think everybody's opportunity is different. I think that some people have a lot more doors that are open to them and they're able to, easily access them. But just because you don't have opportunities doesn't mean you can't rip the door off the fucking hinges and make your own goddamn opportunity.
well,
Sure, it's going to be a hell of a lot harder than just walking through the door, but you're going to still be able to get to it.
see, I'm
And
trying to figure out how to phrase this. Some people want this idea that you're going forward. Some people want to what's the American term? Strap up by the bootstraps or something like that.
uh,
I mean, you see what I'm saying. Some people really want to dig into corporate ideas and rise the corporate ladder
yeah,
and want to do that kind of life, and that's okay. I mean, that's not for me personally, but and then there's some people that just want to paint pretty pictures or write nice poems and trying to make a living out of that,
well,
and you can't do that. You can't make a living out of that.
no. Um, so like right now I'm studying engineering, right? I'm gonna be
Yeah,
honest.
I mean,
I'm gonna be honest with you. Engineering's somewhat fun, but the schooling sucks. The
yeah,
schooling is horrible. I honestly hate school. I'd rather do anything other than doing my homework or going to class or studying
it's
for
a whole nother
tests.
topic.
But the thing is, I know that when I get out of college, all this bullshit I'm putting myself through will be worth it. I'll get a decent paycheck. I'll be able to do what I want. I'll be able to buy what I want. And I'll be happy. But I'm willing to sacrifice these what? So I ain't a super smart kid, so I ain't gonna be fucking 4 years. It's gonna be five, maybe even 5.5. So with that in mind, I'm willing to put in the effort and put myself a bit in the hole so in the long run I can come out on top and be happy.
Well,
So
how do you know that all this time you've invested won't make you happy?
I don't. Everything's a gamble. Literally everything's a gamble. How do I not know that tomorrow I'm gonna go to school, right? I'm gonna ride my bike to school, and I'm not gonna get hit by a fucking semi and die. And then all that debt that I accumulated gets dropped on my parents.
Well, it won't because that's illegal. But I see what you're saying.
I mean, everything's statistically possible.
I mean, yeah,
So
nothing's a given.
so I'm gonna up my statistic probability to the point where I'm actually confident that I'm able to do it. So what's my chances of me getting an engineering job without an engineering degree? Like fucking 1%. Ain't gonna fucking happen. I can get lucky maybe and get some like small time engineering job. Or I can go to college, pay my fucking ass off in, money and whatnot, and then get a real good job, pay off all that, and then live comfortably.
Uh, I mean, your goals are your goals, man, but
So
your
like
goals aren't mine.
so a couple days ago my last employer, he messaged me saying, "Hey, do you want to go back to work?" And it was for engineering and I was getting paid 18 an hour. And I mean, yeah, I could have gone back, but I would have, put off more school. And if I put off more school, then 18 an hour for an engineer is like, it's not that great. So I want to get an actual real engineering job. So I'm really putting school first, make sure I get good grades, making sure that I do the absolute best I can so I can get in a good job and will be stable. And hopefully I'll live somewhere other than this fucking shit state I live in. Mainly out west. I want to live out west. But anyway, back to the topic. Is life unfair? Yes, it's unfair. However, if you have the fucking willpower to push through it, it doesn't matter if it's fucking unfair. You'll force your way into whatever door you need to and get your ass into gear.
And then there's some people that just want to.
Well, some people just want to fucking skate through life and have everything given to them.
Well, not
So like
always given to them, but they just want to live an easier life.
my last girlfriend, her roommate was like 40 years old, unmarried, lived 100% off the government, and did nothing but smoke weed all day.
I
I
agree
think
with most of those, other than living off the government. I think
I
that's
think
kind of
yeah, I'm fine with everything else. Is the fact that she leached off the government to fund her lifestyle, and that pissed me off.
let me ask you this. What do you think about communes or
Communism?
some no, not communism, but say a group of people who want to sustain themselves, so they separate themselves from our society, go out and make farms, grow their own crop, feed themselves, and find a way to financially support a group of people.
That's
Is that
fine.
okay?
Yeah. Why wouldn't that be?
Uh, because it doesn't support your idea of climbing a corporate ladder.
No, I don't. I don't think that you need to climb a corporate ladder. I think you need to be able to put your ass into fucking whatever. Like, set your mind toward a goal. You need to.
See,
If
you
you pick a
the
goal, right? If your goal is to live on a commune and have a whole bunch of people that you know live with you, and you enjoy just the simple things, as in farming and whatever else you do, then yes, go ahead and do that. However, I don't think that like people should be able to just straight up live off the government, go collect their welfare checks,
oh,
pay
I can agree with that.
pay
I
their
can,
pay their so the one thing I used to hate is I go to the grocery store and then I see this bitch in front of me with fucking long ass acrylic nails, with her nice ass iPhone, like a phone that's twice as nice as mine, paying with food stamps. That just pissed me off every time I saw it because I thought, well, why am I here working my ass off day in and day out for, the minor things in life when this bitch can fucking just get all her shit for free from the government? Because that's all equality versus fairness. I'm all for fairness. Like, fuck equality. Like, people don't need to be equal. Egalitarianism is like the worst thing to ever come across this planet. But fairness, where, everybody gets equal treatment from the government, um, I think that's a fantastic idea. This has become very political.
yeah. Ah, fuck it. Who cares? Let's go.
Whatever, man. So, what's your ideas on that? So, I want your ideas on what you think about, the bitch that you're sitting in the food line right behind, and you have your fucking ramen, trying to fucking
Yeah,
pay
you're just
for it.
trying to survive, and this bitch in front of you has got everything that she could want, and then she's buying shit off food stamps. That's
Yeah.
fucked up. That's fucked up, even in my opinion.
No, I mean, so that's happened more times I can imagine at this point.
Oh yeah, no. Look, I used to work in that industry, and I've done this. I've allowed this to happen because I had no option. But it's fucked up, man. It really is. It, some bitch rise up in a fucking Mercedes Benz and she's buying shit off food stamps. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
It, it, this is just how things are in our country.
So that's why. So for
Put it this
everybody,
way.
so everybody's listening. At least for me, I'm very libertarian. The government does not need to tax us on literally anything but roads, schools, and military and police. That's about it. That's literally the only three things I think we should really invest government property on. The rest of it should be privatized because
Burn it all down.
that at least allows most Americans to be able to function because you need roads to get to work. You need you need the police to enforce laws, which there don't need to be that many. Which, when I say laws, that includes the whole judiciary branch and all that, right? And then I also think they need to have a military so that other countries don't come fuck with us. And that's it. Those are only three things. Everything else, go at it. So, like, let's say if you want to shoot crack into your, like, if you want to smoke crack on your porch, go right ahead, dog. Not my problem.
You want to hear my opinion?
Hmm.
Burn it all down for about 10 years. Let the strong rise and see what the fuck happens.
Oh, well, that'll be the next Civil War, which, I'm gonna be straight, the next time, so this next election
No, not even a Civil War, because it won't be a challenge. Motherfuckers got drones and shit. It won't be a fight at all.
What I'm saying is, so let's say next election, some super liberal guy gets elected, and they decide to take our guns, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to program an automatic turret, right? And I'm going to place that shit in my fucking parents' house. And my parents won't mind. And what's going to happen? Like, if someone decides, it's like, would you rather have liberty or death? I'd rather have death than lose my liberty.
Yeah, we keep talking about this. We're going to become enemies of the state.
Yeah,
but I think we can agree on that.
No, I'm almost positive this one ain't going to get uploaded. If it does, it'll be heavily edited.
Hell yeah, fuck it, dude. No, dude. Basically,
everybody
this has become political.
Hold on.
This has become political.
Yeah, no.
And I really want to get my message across.
All right, can you hold up 1 second? Everybody who's listening to this, regardless if you're liberal, Republican, centrist, or fucking weeaboo, I don't give a rat's ass what you are. If you disagree, let us know your opinions. Don't say, oh, wow, you're a shitbag, because we already know it. We're all fucking dirtbags. Welcome to the world, welcome to the real world. Everything is just shit. Everybody is a shitbag. Everybody's out to fuck you up. And if you don't believe that, then you're insane. But
we're just two 20-somethings talking about shit.
Yeah.
If you got a problem with that, you need to shove it up your ass.
See, all right.
Let's just be fucking real. Get over your goddamn self and face your own goddamn problems, because you got other shit to worry about than two 20-somethings out in the middle of nowhere talking about shit. All right?
I mean, yeah, I can agree with that. However, I still think their opinion should still be valued. However,
probably not. If you're insulted by two fucking 20-somethings talking about shit,
well, I mean,
you shouldn't have a goddamn opinion because you're so easily offended.
So, okay, being offended and having an opinion are two separate things. If you're offended by it, fuck yourself. If you have an opinion about it, tell us about it, and we'll see if we actually give enough of a shit about it.
Oh, I'm like,
and if maybe eventually we'll read it out, like we'll go through all the comments and read your comments and talk about them. But
at me, motherfucker.
At me. So that means that we don't need any fucking dumbass fucking comments saying like, well, I think that the world is a beautiful place and everybody is nice. Because no one's nice. Everyone's out for them fucking selves because that's how the world works. Alright, so Luna, you were gonna say?
I don't even remember, man. I got riled up about that right there.
All right,
I
so
was saying something. I don't remember
so
what.
let's go on something that's a bit more optimistic since we went through some negative bullshit right there, right?
All right, well, let's go
All
at
right,
it, dude.
so what is true strength? I'll let you
All
start
right,
with
true
this.
strength. True strength. True strength is being able to just be your own damn self. Do what you want to do. Work hard and figure shit out.
Uh, so I agree with that. However, I think true strength is more of not getting discouraged. Uh, everybody everybody thinks that oh wow, I'm not doing good enough. Um, I'm not as good as X, but they are doing fine. It's just that they don't have the confidence to back themselves. And since they don't have the confidence to fucking back themselves, they limit themselves. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
So what I'm so if someone is truly strong, they're the kind of person who no matter who you meet them and how long it's been, they are the same person. I mean, I don't mean the same person as in like their ideas haven't changed or anything. I mean the same person as in like they're going to believe what they're going to believe and they'll listen to your opinion and they'll accept your opinion. However, they won't let it influence them to a severe degree, right? They aren't a shadow, they're a true person. If you could uh, understand that analogy. Does that make sense to you?
it does. Yeah, yeah. You're talking about being your authentic self,
Yes.
and there's true power in that. There's true power in that, and it's something that people our age will most likely never be able to achieve because they're trying to
So,
get the what's the word I'm looking for, uh approval of other people,
so,
and you can't get the approval of most people by being yourself. Most people will deny you, and most people will shut you down automatically just on the idea that you might be different from most thought.
okay, yeah. So this is a lot more common in girls where they don't have true strength compared to guys. Most guys, I feel as
I
if,
see. I disagree on that,
mm,
but I'll let you go ahead, and I'll come back on this
so,
later.
so a lot of my guy friends, I changed in college. I'm not going to disagree because in high school I was a very I guess passive kind of person. I would kind of manipulate myself to be like other people around me so that I could fit in better, right? However,
Yeah,
when I reached college, I realized that was pointless. And I mean, it literally only took me about a week to understand that in college. Is I want to be my own self, and I didn't realize it until when I went to college. I got to, make myself who I am today. So in high school, I'd let myself get pushed around, to a point. Obviously, if they pushed me too far, I'd push back. But in general, I try to, keep it easy and go with the flow. Uh, However, the reason why I'm saying this is because most guys I've met, they typically don't change too much. Girls, on the other hand, they will manipulate themselves to fit in anywhere. There's only one girl I've met so far that hasn't. And that's one of my buddy's girlfriends, not Holland, which was on our previous podcast because I haven't met his girlfriend yet at least. But another friend of mine, his girlfriend, she's she's been I've known her for a long time and she's not changed ever. She's fully comfortable with who she is. She knows what she thinks, and she does what she wants. And I respect her for that because she's literally the only girl I've ever met that's like that, which is kind of bizarre because most girls, at least most girls I've met, they try to they try to fit in with the crowd, and I don't like that. I don't want someone who just fits in. I want someone who is willing to stand out and willing to believe what they believe without remorse. However, I want them to be able to support their beliefs, you know? Like, I don't want them to say, oh, I believe this is out of my ass, obviously. This isn't what anybody I think believes, but I think Kim Jong un should take over the world. And they have a valid reason for it, and they truly believe it. If they truly believe it, then, I mean, good for you. Obviously, I'm not going to disagree with you, but if they believe it and truly believe it, and they're willing to stand up for it, I fully respect them for it. Guys, on the other hand, I've come across almost 90% of guys I feel like will stand up to their ideas and will accept them. Then you come across, actually, I'd probably say 80, but then you come across the 20% of guys who will try to just blend into the crowd and, you know, be almost try to make themselves invisible, which is what most girls do, in my opinion. What do you think?
There's a lot more pressure on women to conform than men.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I can
I mean,
agree with that.
that's been a social stigma since the beginning of mankind. And the reason why I think women are stronger than men is because there are so many more outliers. Think about all the men that are oppressed by their, oh fuck that word, that are held down by their their peers and just conform to their peers' ideas and do not rise above that. Compared to how many women do that, you say you only know one, but I mean, how many men do you know that have risen above their peers' ideologies and their ideas and not conformed to these things? It's
I mean, you.
really outstanding when
How
you
about
think about
how
it.
about how about you?
How
So
much?
you know all the
Let me
people that
finish
went.
my rant
Oh,
here.
sorry, boss. You go ahead.
You're good. Just think about how women have changed in the past 50 years alone. They went from being simple housewives to having jobs to almost goddamn ruling the world. Let's be real. I mean, a woman could rule this world. They have been forever. We just haven't acknowledged it. Behind every this is a fucking quote that's repeated over and over
Yeah.
again, but behind every strong man is a stronger woman, and I fully believe that a man needs a woman. A woman does not need a man.
At the so I agree with that statement in a way. I agree with the first part, where every strong man has a stronger woman behind him. I agree with that. However, at the same time, I think that women need men to balance them out because it's kind of like having a north and a south pole and a magnet. You need to have
Yeah,
both
I mean,
sides.
you gotta have both sides.
I mean, yeah, you
I
can.
see that.
So this is obviously not bashing against fucking gays or anything like that. Like I'm not saying two guys are north poles. What I'm saying is you need to have someone else who is opposite and equal. So like you know how they say opposites attract.
Oh
So
yeah,
you need to have someone opposite and
necessarily
equal.
agree with that, but yeah,
So
I see.
like the reason why my last girlfriend and I worked so well together before you know certain things was because she was completely opposite of me. She was super liberal. She was she had there's a few things I just couldn't relate to her on, but in general we were complete opposites. We lived
Yeah,
on opposite sides of the world, and in that way, it was a unique adventure for both of us every time we met. Right?
yeah. I can see where you're coming from there because I mean
So like, let's say
you can't have something go smoothly all the time. You
yes,
have to have
you need
you
to
have
have
to learn from each other. You have to be able to expand each other
yep,
and
exactly.
understand each other in different perspectives and things like that.
You need to be able to support each other's weaknesses.
Yeah, well, I don't like the word weaknesses, but yeah, I see. I think I see where you're coming from. You have to
What do you mean you don't like weaknesses as a word?
you have to expand each other on your weaknesses.
So like, I think humans in
You'll have to
nature.
dive
I
deeper
mean
than that.
like humans in general. I feel are actually quite weak.
I mean, yeah, I mean, we're hairless fucking chimps.
Well, I don't mean weak as in physically. I mean mentally.
Oh, I mean,
I
definitely
mean
there too.
mentally we're very social creatures. We accept social acceptance. That's why a lot of people, they go into that mentality, right? They fucking conform.
Yeah, because it's easier. It's
Exactly.
easier to do that than it's for survival.
So, with that in mind, that's why I think the whole magnets thing works, because what you want to try to do is you want to equal zero, right? So let's say North Pole is -8, and then your counterpart or your significant other is +8. That means that you're a zero, which means that you're perfect balance, right?
Uh, yeah,
So like, there's
yeah
a
that's
there's a
that's
so there's a family friend that we used to hang out with a lot. I'm not gonna doss them, obviously, but the wife was super super duper liberal, right? And the husband was super duper duper Republican, and the wife was super duper. How do I say this? Non-white would probably be the best way to say it. Like she was very. She enjoyed her heritage a lot more, and then the husband was super duper white. He didn't give a fuck about his heritage, but they worked. They worked really well together. So with that in mind, and by the way, their joke was the the mother was half Mexican, and they had two children. So the husband will always say that he had a full beaner in the house. It's pretty funny. But aside from that, aside from that, that's one of the few, or not one of the few instances, but one of the main instances I saw that opposites really do. They contrast. They help accentuate each other.
yeah. I can see that to a point. I don't think
Obviously, obviously you have to.
relationships really revolve around political ideology.
No, they don't. It's more of. I mean, I just put that out there
No,
because
I
that's the
see what you're
easiest thing to
saying. Like
compare it.
their personalities conflicted.
So let's say it this way: the guy, he was super docile. He was always just kind of easygoing. The wife, she was a fucking firecracker.
Oh, yeah, that's why it worked out right there because she's a really strong compared with a I don't want to
I
call
mean, but here's the thing:
your
he
family
wasn't.
friend weak, but
I mean, he wasn't.
he was more like you said docile.
Yeah, he wasn't
And
weak by any means. I mean, he was
she
a.
could drive him. She could
Yeah, but I
lead his
mean, here's the thing. So when he ever said no to her, she would instantly stop.
Oh yeah, no,
Because I
I'm
mean,
not
he
saying.
didn't.
Like I said, I'm not saying he's weak. I'm just saying that she probably helped him in
Yeah,
different
no, but it was more.
aspects.
Yeah, it was more of the thing of like he would let her do just about anything that she wanted, but when he said no, she was like, okay, this is one of the few things that he said no to. I'm done.
Yeah,
Right?
no, like I'm saying, that behind every strong man is there's a strong woman, and sometimes that strong woman can guide a strong man
Yep. So
different ways.
so it's a whole. That's how I think about it. Is the stronger the opposites, the more they attract.
Yeah,
But
I mean, I've had some opposites that didn't attract though. I'll tell you that now.
I mean, so
Oh
like
shit, my last girlfriend drove me fucking crazy. I drove
so
her
I mean,
crazy too.
it's more of like so have you ever been in like a party and something, and you see a guy and a girl arguing, and you can just tell that they're gonna end up fucking at some point, right?
Definitely, yeah.
And it's because they're
That out of the
opposite.
crowd.
They're so opposite that they're compatible.
Oh, I mean, that's a whole different thing though. That's sexual tension. That doesn't really have anything. That's just peacocking. That's what that is. That doesn't really have anything to do with
I mean,
anything.
I can kind of agree with that, but I think it's more of it's
When
just
you're trying to get a mate, uh, talking like this because I fuck insult anybody, but when you're trying to fuck somebody, your ideologies aren't top of your board.
well,
You know.
no. Okay, so
you're just trying to flirt around and try to aggravate and try to work your way in.
All right, so yeah, I agree with that, but I think we've exhausted this. Do you have any final ideas on that?
I I'm, I don't know, man. I've just been going off you.
Yeah, I know you have. That's why I'm trying to fucking. So this is a question that I think would be really good for a lot of people. What's the most valuable life lesson you've ever learned?
Hmm. You want to go first, man? I gotta think about
Yeah,
this.
I'll go ahead and go just so you can think about it for a second. So my most valuable life lesson, um, well, I mean, if it's something that I've learned from somebody else, it's from my father, and it's um, he who has money makes the rules. That's it's the golden rule, like quotation marks. I know the golden rule is supposed to be treat others how you want to be treated, but he who has the gold makes the rules. That's
Okay.
the real golden rule, in my opinion. However, if it was one that I had to come up with on my own, it is the only people are only out for themselves. They aren't out to put you down and they aren't out to make you up. They're out for themselves. So, like, if someone's helping you, they have some ulterior motive, whether it's to make them feel happy. So, like, if your parents help you, it's because it makes them feel happy, it makes them feel proud. Um, if some random person helps you, it's because it makes them feel dignified or something.
Yeah.
But people are only out for themselves. They ain't out to help you. And the second you learn that, the second you can understand how most people come to their decisions. I mean, yeah, they'll help you at times, and they might help you even though it doesn't benefit them at all. However, it will benefit them because they'll think, "Wow, so I helped this guy, right? And now if I need help in the future, they'll be more willing to help me."
Yeah. I see
Like
what you're
they're
saying.
building a relationship. So, in the end, people are only out for themselves. Regardless if it's beneficial to them or not, they are out for themselves. And it took me a minute to realize that. And once I did realize it, life's become so much easier. I mean, if you talk to someone and, you know, I don't know, you gotta try to give them an incentive to get them to do what you want. Which is a terrible thing to say because, so, like, here's the thing. The one thing I do think counteracts that is the whole idea of friendship or love, right? So,
What's the difference?
so at some point we'll probably have someone on here. His name is Judah, right? You've
Yeah.
met Judah, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, way back when, I got my truck stuck in a ditch at midnight. All right?
It's a true fucking friend right there. He
Yeah,
loves
I,
you.
I called him, and he drove 40 minutes to come pull me out of a ditch.
That's love, dude.
Yeah,
That's love.
no,
That's beyond friendship. That is somebody who really cares about
like
you.
real
They're
shit. If
gonna
he,
wake up in the middle of the fucking
yeah, if
40 minutes to come
so,
fucking get you out of a situation.
yeah,
That's love.
so if he called me, like, let's say he called me right now, I would instantly end this podcast and go. I'm an
Yeah.
hour and a half away from him, and I do not give a rat's ass. If he needed my help and he called me first, that's who I, that's what I do. But
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
because in a
You
way,
need somebody like that in your life.
it's still beneficial for both of us though. It's a mutually
Yeah.
beneficial relationship, which I mean, I don't want to play it
Because
down
you
as
love
in
each other. You fucking love each other. Y'all are
yeah,
fucking friends. Y'all fucking look out for each other.
yeah. I mean, I don't want to play it down as if it's a, like just a strictly psychological thing, but uh in the end, it benefits us both because we know that we have someone who will back us up and they won't, snitch to somebody else saying blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So, what about you? So the question again, just to reiterate, was what's the most valuable life lesson you've ever learned?
You have to learn from other people's failures and experience. You have to listen to people when they talk to you. You just have to try your best to understand other people
Do you have
because
a do you have an
in that way,
experience you can relate to that?
quite a few. I mean, like,
I mean, can you go ahead and put one that's easy to explain? I mean,
I'll put it this way.
if it's not easy to explain, don't worry about it because I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody can grasp the idea of it.
I mean, I don't have a single experiences, but put it this way: Charles Bukowski. I found
Uh,
him.
Good job
He's a
dousing him.
writer.
Okay, okay.
Oh yeah,
Whatever.
he's a writer. He's a writer. He's a famous writer. He's
Okay, I
long
thought you
dead.
doused some dude from that you know.
No, 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 no. This guy, he's a writer, and he he wrote about childhood in a way that just related to me. It, in a way that I cannot express. Like, I wish I would have found him when I was young, but I found him in my 20s. And you have to listen. You have to get. I mean, be careful, of course, but you have to get older friends and people that can explain life to you. It's so important that people understand life and people understand other people's experiences so they can further understand themselves. Uh, I would have not made half the mistakes I made in life if I would have just slowed down and listened to people tell me what they've gone through or experiences that they've had. It, it's a cruel world. And if you know that, it's less cruel because you're able to avoid situations which you might find yourself in.
I can agree with that. I mean, that was one of the lessons my father taught me. So you know how he taught me that? He taught me that through.
Throwing you in a pool without knowing how to swim.
Well, I mean that happened, but anyway, no, it's
I've been
more
there
of
too.
well, I had a life jacket on most of the time,
I
but
didn't.
I had a life jacket on until he was confident I could swim. But
Well,
anyway,
it was a sink or swim situation.
but
Let's
any,
just say I learned. They sent me to a fucking swimming lessons the next fucking week.
no,
So,
but anyway, so I baled hay as a child because I gotta get that bank when you're like 13, right?
oh yeah.
But I was baling
At least you
hay,
got paid.
and
Fuck.
yeah, like $20 for a day.
That was a fucking pastime for me. Goddamn.
Yeah, fuck you. No, you didn't. No, but anyway, so I was baling hay, and I listened to some jackass, even though I knew he was wrong, and we stacked the hay the wrong way. Well, what happens? My father and the main farmer comes out, and they tear it down, right? And we have to completely restack it all.
Yeah, it's gotta be a certain way, man. Or all
And
ride.
I mean, the thing is, each one of these bales is the weight that I am, and they're
Yeah.
so I'm having to chuck 60-pound bales while I'm still 60 pounds. Actually, I was probably 100 at the time, but still, after you chuck like about 200 of them, you're pretty fucking tired.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
so you had to redo it all over again, and that's what taught me, make sure you make sure you do it the right way. So when I went to work this summer, I taught my coworkers something which I felt pretty proud of. I taught them bug the fuck out of your boss. Ask them
Yeah.
how shit needs to be done and how they want it done. And
Yeah,
if
it's
they tell you
important.
to fuck off, then fuck off. But otherwise, they'll give you an answer.
Even sometimes they'll tell you to fuck off, and then they'll come right back and fucking bitch at you
Yeah,
for
no.
doing it wrong.
Yeah, no.
I do. I go through that shit every goddamn day,
No, exactly. So, and then, like,
and then
at that
then you can
point,
turn around on them because they're like, "Fuck you! You didn't teach me right."
no,
Well, that's,
no, so, like,
uh,
there's one time where I went to my last boss. Um, I worked so over the summer I worked for a engineering company, but regardless, I was designing a part. I'm trying to keep as vague as possible. But I was designing a part, and I went to go talk to the dude, but he had a whole bunch of fucking meetings, so I couldn't ever talk to him. So I had to talk to this guy all the way up in Milwaukee, and I was talking to him, and he gave me ideas, right? And I went through them and I put them in. But then my current boss said, "Oh, I don't like these ideas." I was like, "Well, you weren't in the meeting, and uh, X up in Milwaukee, which is basically his coworker, like I mean they're like even rank and all, said do this," and he's like, "Oh, well then you're fine then."
Yeah.
So
I want to add to
the thing,
my answer there.
yeah, the thing is like if you don't pester people like while you're learning about what to do, then you will never learn. I mean,
Yeah.
yes, you need to make your own mistakes, but so like if I made this mistake, right, it would have cost the company $10,000 at a minimum.
Yeah.
So I had to make sure that I was doing it right.
Yeah.
And
Just I want to add to my answer.
yeah, go
You
ahead.
gotta have confidence, whether it's real or not. I mean, in whatever decision you make, you have to at least fake confidence.
Yes, no, fake it
That's
till
how
you
I
make
got
it,
through high
right?
school. Halfway through high school, I just kept my head down. I didn't give a fuck about anything. I just wanted to get through the day. And at some point, I was like, I ought to pick my fucking chin up just to show these motherfuckers who's really fucking slinging cock around here. And it's me.
Fake it till you make it, right?
I mean, yeah, as fucking shitty as that term is, yeah, you gotta fucking fake shit till you make it.
No, it's not a shitty term. I think it's a great term. I mean,
I just mean it's overused, is all I'm
well, it's
saying.
overused because people say it, but other people don't fucking listen, so they have to repeat it.
I'm just saying, like,
So that goes back to your
who are you
thing
gonna
where,
listen to? Who are you gonna listen to in a conference? Somebody that goes, or somebody that walks in there with their fucking chin held high, saying shit they know is wrong, and still spouting it out anyway. Head held high, voice straight and steady. You're gonna listen to the motherfucker that seems like he fucking gives a fuck,
I
or at
mean,
least has confidence in what he's saying.
yeah, I agree with that. However, at least in the real world, I've noticed that if you talk bullshit, somebody's gonna call you out on it.
Oh yeah, somebody's gonna call you out, but that person is also confident.
All right.
Let's wrap this motherfucker up, dude, and
All
send
right.
her to fucking North Pole because it's ready for fucking Christmas.
Can wait? Can you repeat what you just said?
No, I can't because I don't remember what I said.
Because I didn't fucking understand a word you said. But
You
uh,
goddamn right.
anyway, both me and Luna, I'm thoroughly trashed at still. How
I'm
about
ready
you,
for
Luna?
another drink. I don't know about you.
I have class tomorrow. Fuck it, I'll do it anyway. I don't have. I only have one class tomorrow because the rest of them got canceled due to the hurricane.
Woo-hoo!
So, any last ideas you wanna put on here? So this was. I got a lot of these ideas from a thread on mantelligence.com/conversation topics. I literally typed conversation topics into Google and this is what came up. And I literally just went down there picking out the good ones.
Yeah, I got one last idea that I would like to conversate. I throw it here. I gotta think of how to word this.
All right. I agree. So we're
All
gonna.
right. Yeah. All right. Well,
So
that's
we
what
can go ahead and continue this at a later point.
all right. Well, I gotta throw this in here, guys. If you liked this fucking shit show that this was, with the technical issues and the headbutting, why don't you just fucking like, comment, and subscribe, like every other YouTuber asks you to? Goddamn cons. They aren't half as good as us, but that's a different story. Um, look here. seriously though, I mean, we're begging for your approval.
No, he's
Why
begging
don't
for your approval. I'm literally doing this so I can look back at it in the future and say, "Wow, I was a fucking retarded cunt." Um,
well,
maybe
yeah,
I'll do. Maybe I'm better now, but
I'm
most
already
like.
ashamed of my actions.
Oh
So,
no, I'm already ashamed of my actions too. You know, like it's kind of like the whole thing where
uh,
you like, you know, you look back at your fucking middle school or high school days and you think, "Wow, I was a bitch."
yeah, I was thinking more of my internet search history, but anyway, like, comment, subscribe, at me, motherfucker, because I will argue with you. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful or terrible night, depending on what kind of person you are.
All right.
And it was
So
good, dude.
yeah,
I
this was
liked
great.
butting heads with you. This was fun.
Yeah, this was a
Uh,
lot of fun. One thing for everybody, the channel might change. I might just make a new channel because this current one is my YouTube channel. Like, as all my subs and shit. I really don't give a fuck who people see who I'm sub to. So, uh,
I mean,
I
if
think
you're
I
not
might. I
ashamed
think I
of
might.
sharing all that hentai that you guys subscribed on YouTube,
Uh, yeah. Regardless, um,
I
at some point there might be a new channel. What did we decide our new name was?
dude.
The Irredeemables.
Yeah, dude. Because I mean, come on, like, we're not being
So we're gonna
redeemed
do the.
at this
It's gonna
point.
be called Irredeemable Podcast. Sound good?
I'll, I'll be lucky if I ever get another job again after this shit.
Yeah. No. This one might not be posted. If it is, it's gonna be posted probably for subs only. Uh,
Yeah, I would like to reiterate that last point. Yeehaw,
yes.
uh,
Yeehaw, brother.
L stand.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys in the next one.